Greetings, greetings, greetings. This is Medicine Man. I want to talk to y'all for a second about, we're going to talk about just for a couple of minutes about some of the things about hoodoo and some of the things I'm going to be doing for the new year for hoodoo and for root working and trying to get the proper information, trying to disseminate the correct information of what hoodoo and root working is for everybody, especially the new seekers. There are many of us in the African American community that don't even know our own roots and our own culture. It's imperative that there's some of us that are really connected to the culture that can get out here and actually inform people as to what's the truest elements of the culture. There are many people out here trying to exploit the fact that root working is not an organized, systematic religion, so to say. In the old plantations, root working and hoodoo was a full-fledged religion at one point in time in history, and then it became an act, it became a practice. So as time went on, we developed different regional styles of hoodoo from Louisiana to Alabama, Mississippi, Tennessee, the Carolinas and Florida and things like that. And in every area, there's different influences. Some have Bantu influences more. Some have West African influences more. Ultimately, those influences are based on the connections of the ethnic groups of people that went into those areas. And influences that those people had on those areas. So there were different strains of hoodoo that emerged in America that seemed like totally different practices, but ultimately had similar origins. So we're going to elaborate on that. We're going to elaborate on what is the real origins of hoodoo. We're going to get rid of that Irish and Celtic and all of that other stuff, origins, and people trying to say that hoodoo has a European origin or European influences. We're going to get rid of that because I never, ever, ever seen a European practice in the hoodoo in my region. Now, I can't speak about any other regions, but the hoodoo in my region, I've never seen European practices. I've never seen Europeans come around the people that practice this. It is a common belief in the Low Countries that when white people come around, I'm not being racist or anything, but this is how the secrets are guarded. When white people come around, people and close your mouth. Shit. You can be black with a family full of root workers and they still won't say a thing to you because it's the common understanding. They look around and they see who's chosen for it and they pull you and be like, hey, we're going to teach you this. We're going to show you some of this and some of that. Hush, don't tell nobody. So there are many black people, even in the heart of where hoodoo originated from, Louisiana and the Carolinas and stuff like that don't know it. They don't know it because the secret is guarded, even in the black community is guarded. So we're gonna talk about some of the deeper implications of hoodoo, the origins. We're gonna talk about the real influences, the West African, the Central African, and the indigenous influences in hoodoo, root working. And we're gonna bring it to the forefront, bring it to the light. In my seminars, I'm doing some webinars at the beginning of the new year. And we're going to walk through all of this. We're going to go from A to Z. This ain't no correspondent course. We're going to teach you how to think like a root worker. We're going to show you some of the elements of our culture. We're going to talk about making hoodoo fetishes. We're going to talk about making spirit parts. We're going to talk about receiving them. We're going to talk about all of these different things that compromise what hoodoo is. So you can effectively learn how to practice the whole art. So you can live the whole culture. It's not something that you get initiated into. It's something you're born into. It's something you tap into. So for that regard, this year, we're going to be doing some great things in 2018, and we're going to be putting hoodoo on the map. We're going to be clearing out all of the misconceptions from the people that told lies for the last few years. We're going to get into all of that. We're going to talk about who's credible to teach hoodoo and who's not. You know what I mean? And then we're going to also talk about hoodoo root workers and their path to uncover all of their ancestors by journeying into ATR religions, what to expect, what not to expect, what to look for, the questions to ask when you walk into an Ile or a Munanzo as a root worker. What should you ask? What should you expect? I think personally that a fully effective practicing root worker, can come into an ATR with with a certain skill set. that could help them reach their goals of connecting with their ancestors in any ATR effectively a little faster. Because a root worker is different from somebody who's just blindly coming into, walking into an LA or whatever, saying, hey, you know what, I want to learn about African spirituality. Hell, a root worker already know. He already know about African spirituality. In fact, a root worker already know about several of them if they're really doing their knowledge. So for that regard, we're going to elaborate on a lot of things. We're going to cover all the bases of what it is to be a root worker, how to think like one, and how to put in our work like one. So 2018 is going to be that magnificent year for the root working nation. You know what I mean? And I'm going to look forward to working with a lot of y'all and teaching a lot of people how to really work their roots, how to change their life. It's not about hexing. It's all about transformation. How to turn, like Moses part the Red Sea with his Agun stick. How Moses part the Red Sea with one of these. We're gonna break down some barriers, and we're gonna talk about, as root workers, how we can use the Agun stick. How we can use the fetishes that came out of Africa in our root working. Stay tuned.